Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic, we have strong storms sweeping across the region, prompting the risk for flash flooding from today all the way into the weekend. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the setup we have in place, really from the Midwest here, portions of Missouri, really to Ozarks here, all the way into the Mid-Atlantic. So really this includes areas such as Kentucky, West Virginia, portions of Western Virginia, not West Virginia, West North Carolina, Northern Tennessee, really a big portion of Kentucky here. One of the biggest threats here that's going to be accompanied with the thunderstorms we have today, the very strong thunderstorms, is going to be the torrential downpours, which of course can lead to flash flooding, which is what we've already seen here, especially the historic flooding in St. Louis. So we're going to have that same threat, perhaps not to the same extent, but it's still going to be a serious threat here for portions of the Mid-Atlantic here. Now, as far as today, forecast confidence is still pretty high that we could see these periods of unsettled weather today, all the way until Friday, even Saturday as well, from the Midwest all the way into the Mid-Atlantic. However, much really remains uncertain in terms of storm coverage and intensity, as well as how hot it will get for locations that do not see storms. Potential for additional flooding risk will also definitely need to be monitored. Now, today's forecast is particularly low confidence. Currently, there are quite favorable conditions here set up across Kentucky here, as well as portions of Indiana, even southern Illinois. We do have some good conditions here for a cluster of convection to develop in this region. Not only this, but the environment is still extremely moist, with precipitate water values here across portions of Kentucky, Indiana, and of course southern Illinois, really ranging from 2 to say 2.15 inches here. A lot of this moisture is definitely going to be present today, which is very favorable for some of these storms beginning to develop. And if should storms occur, flash flooding could develop in this waterlogged area. Now, precipitation chances for the rest of the day will be isolated to scattered, as there isn't really much lift to initiate storm development. Now, precipitation chances for the rest of the day will be isolated to scattered, as there isn't really much lift to initiate storm development. But there is still a frontal boundary positioned over the center, over this main target area here, as well as the numerous threat for outflow boundaries. This could definitely pose an isolated risk for damaging wind gusts. But the Storm Prediction Center has again placed nearly in the entire forecast area under a marginal risk of severe storms. Now, if we just fast forward a little bit into this evening, into the overnight hours, we can see that convection is actually expected to really expand here, as well really along this frontal boundary we're going to be seeing here across the center of Kentucky. And this can definitely prompt periods of showers and thunderstorms really occurring through much of the day Thursday. There will again be a small severe thunderstorm risk with the entire forecast area, again outlooked for a marginal risk. Now, given the high precipitate water values and potential for convection along the front, flooding concerns are definitely growing for this period. However, one mitigating factor is the very dry conditions across much of southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, and much of western Kentucky here. Although this is still going to be taking place more tomorrow on Thursday. However, this doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get a lot of rainfall here in these areas, as the latest quantitative precipitation forecast gives this area a solid of 1.5 to 2.5 inches through Friday evening, with locally higher amounts definitely possible. Now we move into Friday. By this point, the frontal boundary will begin to move into southern Arkansas and Tennessee. This will actually allow for a brief window of drying across the northern half of the forecast area, as this axis of convection kind of becomes more focused across southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, and western Kentucky. Meanwhile, a new area of showers and thunderstorms is beginning to take shape at this hour across south central West Virginia back into eastern Kentucky. Now, overall though, the models are definitely in good agreement. The I-64 focused precipitation will gradually decrease after sunrise, and the main focus going into the daytime hours will be across southwestern West Virginia, as well as southwest Virginia, northeast Tennessee, and even eastern Kentucky, or west of the I-77 corridor. Considering the ongoing activity and the expected activity in these areas, a flash flood watch has been posted through midnight tonight, but these aren't the only areas that will receive torrential rainfall, of course. Since we move further east into southwest Virginia and northwestern North Carolina, we see that ample rain will actually filter into the region. Now, the areas that are highlighted with the flash flood watch have likely received the most rainfall in recent days, which adds to the chance of flash flooding. Again, as in the past several days, thunderstorms will be numerous during the afternoon, especially across the Virginia, North Carolina, Piedmont, where instability will actually be better. These isolated showers producing heavy rainfall remains the main concern with any isolated strong to severe storms. However, the flood threat is much lower in eastern areas at this point. Now, as we go back to the primary area of concern here as far as flooding, which includes cities like Nashville, Tennessee, we see today and tomorrow look pretty similar to one another, although shower and thunderstorm coverage will likely be a bit more widespread tomorrow compared to today. So what you're seeing right here is likely what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. as compared to today, so a lot more activity beginning to form. So it looks like thunderstorm coverage will pick up by the afternoon hours, as we're seeing here, with a few strong to severe thunderstorms in the mix. Damaging winds, I'd say, will really be the primary concern, although some small hail and localized flooding cannot necessarily be ruled out, especially here in Kentucky as far as flooding. Even cities like Charleston, West Virginia are included in this risk, as the latest radar runs actually show showers and thunderstorms that continue to push across the forecast area. These storms will actually push east with a relative lull in activity until another area of storms actually pushes across the region, roughly by Friday, as you can see here. And as I mentioned before, additional heavy rain falling across saturated or nearly saturated ground could continue to result in flooding issues. But as we move back to the present, the radar is beginning to receive returns of showers and thunderstorms beginning to fire up here, mainly across Kentucky and Tennessee, where a lot of this moisture is very present. Now these cells here are actually quickly moving to the east, given little residence time over any singular area. Now as far as today and tonight, upper high pressure remains over the southern states, with flow staying mostly north of lower Ohio Valley. Back at the surface though, a nearly stationary front remains over southern Indiana and central Kentucky. Something to bear in mind is that the atmosphere contains ample moisture here at the moment, and when combined with this diurnal heating, instability increases, making thunderstorms much more likely. Some gusty winds are expected here, but the main threat here around Kentucky and Indiana, as I said before, especially near the Louisville area, will continue to be the flooding. Flash flood guidance is the lowest over Du Bois County, Indiana, with some of these values as low as 1.3 inches, and along the Bluegrass and Lake Cumberland area, some of this guidance in this area will be as low as 1.5 to 1.8 inches. The areas near Bowling Green to Elizabethtown, Kentucky, can take the most additional rainfall, with 6-hour values near 4 inches. These heavy rains will cause reduced visibility and ponding of water on the roadways, so be mindful of the hydroplaning risk of driving. We may see a break from the rain this afternoon into the evening hours, but showers and storms are expected to pick up again tonight. But anyway guys, that's about all I have today as far as the flooding risk and chance of storms. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick weather update. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you do enjoy the content I make, please consider subscribing as well. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.